BPod Studios.
Yep.
He's been over at the FanDuel stage. He's doing FanDuel. Rob's a big FanDuel. I think he's over there with Kay Adams doing her show. So, it's just lots of stuff going on.
A lot of things happening. It's gone. And we've got our next interview coming through right now. We've got C.J. Mosley with us, who's just getting set up here on Radio Row here in Las Vegas on Zolak and Bertrand. On 98.5 The Sports Hub, WBZ-FM, HD1, Boston.
Patriots. You hate the Patriots, huh?
Beat the Patriots.
Yeah. I have a question related to the Patriots for you. And thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
In 2022, you had the game against the Patriots, and you could recognize some of the things they were doing offensively. I remember you talking about it at the time. There was the ability to see and know what they were doing offensively. Right. Did that change this year? Did it get better? Did it get worse?
So I think when it comes to especially your division opponents, because you play them twice a year, you kind of understand what they want to do. You understand the coaches. You understand the schemes. So when it comes to teams that you're playing twice a year, for me, I'm excited for those because I already have an understanding of what the teams want to do. So to answer your question is, yes, it got better because same coaches, kind of the same MO for the Patriots since we're talking about them. But, little things going to change in there, especially with personnel. They might show something different, but, what they want to do. We know the Patriots going to run the ball. We know they're going to try to put you in a situation, especially if it's 3rd and short or 4th and 1. They might try to fake and bring somebody out and come back in. So you kind of get it. So, between just watching the film and just, playing against the same team over and over, then you really that's why I feel it's always tougher when people say they already beat this team once or twice in the regular season, but now we play them in the playoffs. It's I don't know. They know exactly what we're doing, so you always got to think about that.
Love watching you on Hard Knocks as the build up to the start of the season was there and the excitement around your team and your windows now obviously going to get Aaron, and then 4 plays into it the Achilles goes. How devastated was the team, and you guys sort of found your way a little bit there, but defense had to carry him.
It was talking about some crazy events that happened, just all the hype leading up to it. We got to see it a little bit in the preseason. So, when he came out that tunnel with the flag, man, I always stand in the front, the front left, just to see everything. But I was especially waiting I felt like a fan at that moment because I just wanted to be a part of it, just to see it and experience and witness, a legend coming to play for us. So the crowd was crunk, the fans, the lights, everything was great, and it was like a pin drop when it went down. It was just like a silent, little mumble. And at the time, I didn't even see him get hurt. I just saw him, coming off and going to the tent. So once he didn't come back, the game was going the way it did. Especially on the defense side, we didn't really have time to think about that. Shout out to Jay Whitehead. 3 interceptions that game. So the defense did their thing, but fast forwarding through that season, man, it was just. It's all about adversity. The great ones can handle it. The great teams know how to find their way to get back to where they need to get. So when it comes to just the adversity and just the mental mindset, the mental strength to overpower those things that you can't control, that's when the great teams start to build and take off.
You played with
I did. Baltimore. Yeah.
So you guys then, boom, you go make your money elsewhere. But he's pretty much a home wrecker for us. There are times when when he's healthy, you can't block him off the edge. But I think he's in a year now to where he gets a little more of a bump and a guarantee, and he sort of held out at the beginning of camp. We're worried about him coming back next year because it's lower money, but he's another guy. He'll hold out probably to get his money.
I mean, he has a high motor. Just watching him. Come in as a rookie at Baltimore, then obviously see him take off and get his bag. That's
he killed Tennessee in that playoff game. Yeah.
So I mean, he can wreck a game by himself. He's great in the run game. He can set an edge. He's a strong, big guy. So obviously health is first. So hopefully he's doing all the right steps to get his body back to the right space, and obviously the mind is a big part of that. But once he's on the field, he's going to do his job, so I'm definitely not worried about that part.
Jets linebacker C.J. Mosley, 5-time Pro Bowler. You've been in the league a long time, played a lot of games against the Patriots, and earlier this season, Bill Belichick had a lot of praise for you before one of the matchups. talked about you being the guy. Even with all the talent on your defense, he said you are the guy that makes that thing go. Were you surprised when you found out Bill Belichick was no longer going to be the coach of the Patriots after you've competed against that team with him on the sideline so many times?
Yeah, he's been a Patriots coach since I've been alive. So, I mean, just that statue of him just being part of the Patriots, the organization, is definitely going to look different. No, it was weird, like talking about it when the media was asking me the week of, like, how do you feel about his career and this and that. Like, I said, you guys talking to him like he's like got fired already. So at the time, it wasn't that he didn't know like what was going to happen. But when he started just to talk about my game and just him recognizing it and speaking on it, I felt very humble and honored for that. So it's never would have imagined that.
He's not coaching, and Nick Saban is now not coaching.
Well,
how strange is that for you to know Nick is not on the sideline?
He snuck his way back to the analyst side of it, so he's about to be around. But it was another shocker. Like obviously, you can't coach this game forever. At some point you gotta hang it up. But still, just to see that news and just like I was talking about, just what he's built at Alabama, just the process that he's instilled into all the players that came out of there, like everything that he taught me in college. Like I'm still thinking about. I'm still talking. Like my speeches are sounding like what he thinks he used to say when I was at Alabama. So he was a great role model, great leader, and he always wanted the best for his players on and off the field. So I always appreciate that.
Played against this Patriots offense last couple of years. Your take on Mac Jones, and as a player, does he mouth off a lot during games?
You know what? He has a little mouth. He has a little mouth on him that I didn't know. So my brother, he played at Alabama, so he played with Mac Jones. So the first game this year, when everybody thought I was a dirty player for tackling him on that 4th and 1, which he kept running.
Right.
So, so I watched the TV copy of that. And,
I do the broadcast. I had your back.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. So I watched the TV copy of it. I saw like he gave Sauce a little tap.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I told my brother, like, hey, Mac, Mac kind of. He got a little something about him. So I was like, yeah, he be talking a little bit, but especially when I'm going against, like, my former Alabama players, especially on the offensive side, I take great pride in that because I can't, especially if I play with them at Alabama, I can't tackle them or hit them at practice. So it's a lot of fun playing against, your former players and teammates at Alabama or just the younger guys that are coming out of Alabama.
I'm sorry, but do you guys feel like this is your window these next 2 years?
Yes, for sure. Obviously, we had what we had this year at the beginning of the year with the injuries, but the opportunities are very, very small in the NFL, especially to, get to the playoffs and have a chance to play for a Super Bowl. So, we understand that. And, this is I wouldn't even say the next 2 years. This year is a big year for us.
Yeah.
We built what we needed to build. Yeah. We said what we wanted to do. We got who we needed to get. Obviously, every year you got to find the plugs to put in for the draft and free agency and all that. But our foundation is set. So it's time for us to just handle our business. Stop making excuses for every other thing. So it's just time to go play ball.
And as a veteran player, you've got more perspective on how hard it is to get there.
Yeah.
How you're not going to play forever. Do you sort of kind of pass that down to younger players? Talking to, I don't know, Sauce Gardner, for example.
It's hard. It's hard to get that through people's heads sometimes because I was in that space. I was fortunate to be at Alabama, then get drafted by Baltimore. So I've been on 2 teams that already had the blueprint and also had the leadership and the veteranship to oversee like the adversity stuff that we're talking about. Like every year we knew like, hey, this is our year every year. So now, I'm in a different situation. New team. My first year I get hurt. Second year COVID, then we got a coaching change. So, those 3 things that you don't want when you go into a new team. But, we have to build that. It was a certain way when I got there, and it's been getting better every single year. And then you can see the production that we've had. Because you talked about the Jets in 2019, and you talk about the Jets right now. We haven't won anything, but the perception of it has definitely changed. So we've done the right things. So now it's just time to put it all together.
Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm still 50-50 right now.
You played against both this year, right?
No, I didn't. We didn't play the 49ers this year.
Oh, I thought you did.
We have them next year though.
Okay.
So we'll see if they're the defending champs or it's just another team.
So
you got one team that's looking for revenge, and you got another team with a quarterback that's trying to solidify its dynasty. So I think the dynasty is gonna outplay for the revenge.
Yeah.
Why is it that so many teams can't take care and take Travis Kelce out of the game? It fascinates me that there are teams that still haven't got that down.
They don't play normal, pitch and catch. They don't. They have their own system, and just playing against them this year, I got to see it because I got caught on one of the plays. So, like they run routes that everybody else does, but when things break down or when it's time for Mahomes to make that crazy play, his receivers know where to go. So when you're trying to look at him, running around and see where you're going, and now you got people moving left and right that's normally you don't supposed to go there. So you think about the Ravens. He runs around, stands in the pocket, spins around, kind of comes back, then just size arm is on the other side of the field. Nobody's going to be looking for that. But Kelce was in the perfect spot. It wasn't on accident. The plays they make is not on accident.
And the other part is you can't cover forever.
You can't.
You can't. You've only got a set amount.
If you have legs, man, it's always dangerous because you have that component of your game, and you have your receivers and your tight ends that know what you want and how to get there. It's tough to stop.
C.J. Mosley with us, and he's here today representing Seat Club, which is a new platform that launched just last month. It's a way for fans to get tickets at the lowest possible price by getting rid of the fees that are charged above face value at all these other sites. Does this mean you can get Super Bowl tickets too?
It does mean you can get Super Bowl tickets without the fees and without the upcharges. So I actually have this. I know we're not on camera, but this we have this diagram. So it shows 13 tickets for the Super Bowl game for Sunday. So this is Ticketmaster, $2,000, $2,061. So that's with the markups. Oh, no, $2,061 of markup. So that's extra that you're paying with the fees and everything. So it came out a total of $12,250. But with C Club, it's a subscription base. So that's the only way they make their money. They're not making money off fees or any markups. And 13 tickets for $10,000. So you're saving $2,000 already. So for me, the reason I like it so much, for away games, I'm a guy that wants my family to be at the games. They're going to go to the games. But when you go to away games, you're sitting in the nosebleeds.
They got you up in 336.
I don't want my aunt and anybody elderly going up there. So we go to Ticketmaster, StubHub, to buy a ticket. So that's just one ticket. You think you're getting the ticket for $100, and at the end it's $250. Well, where did this come from? So now you subscribe once, and now you just have that one ticket or how many tickets you want. Then you're good to go. So for me, I think that's why I like it, because I have family that wants to go to games, but they can't always go every time. So now you just subscribe one time for the year, which is 57% off, and the promo code is CJ because my number is 57. So
that's easy.
You're already saving for the year.
CJ is the promo code.
CJ is the promo code
at SeatClub.com. That's where you go to sign up. And I'm looking at this chart right now. You could save a lot of money. If you're buying tickets.
Yep.
CJ, great to talk to you. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, we've got more from Radio Row. This hour of coverage brought to you by Play Boston.
Live from the Mandalay Bay Hotel in Las Vegas, it's Zolak and Bertrand, presented by Safety Insurance on 98.5 The Sports Zone.
Welcome back to Zolak and Bertrand on a Finish Strong Friday, a very special big game from Vegas. Finish Strong Friday, presented by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. Ryan wants to remind all homeowners and business owners not to gamble on missing the gas and propane rebates that are expiring in April. Get 0% financing and rebates when you update your old furnace and boiler. Do it now before it's too late. Visit call128.com now to set up your free consultation with the best HVAC team in the business. Happy Finish Strong Friday. Let's go to the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Is RJ Bell there on the line? I cannot see.
I am. Yes, I am.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, RJ.
RJ, what's up?
Awesome. I'm a little worried about something. I think that big game might overlap with the Super Bowl. And which one are we going to watch?
I'm going to watch the Super Bowl 58, between the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and the San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy and company and McCaffrey. So, yeah. But this is now editorial work, not what we were just doing, which was promotional work. So now we talk about the Super Bowl. What stands out to you about this game? What are you looking at getting ready for this, the biggest weekend of the year in football?
Yeah, this is probably, in fact, almost certainly going to be the biggest bet football game ever. And I mean, it might break that record year after year for a while, but boy, this one, it's been a quantum leap. And you look at all the different prop bets. I mean, it used to be 50-50. Like even 5 or 6 years ago, half the money was on the side in total, half the money was on the props. Now it's moving to 70-30 towards the props. And there's hundreds of them, and it almost guarantees that Vegas or any big group of casinos, if you want to say Jersey, whatever, Massachusetts, they're not going to lose the Super Bowl. They used to lose about one every 10 years, right? Because like when the Giants beat the Patriots, the books lost because there was so much money line action on the Giants at the big number. Now there's so much diversification of all this betting that really you can't lose as the bookie, which means as players, we've got to make sure we don't bet so much, like 20, 30 things that we can't win either. So be selective, but I got a couple of good props for us, I think, for sure.
Oh, all right. Well, what are you looking at? Tell me.
Yeah, what do you got?
All right, so let's talk. Let's take a minute and really think about this game, because right now this line, 2-point favorite for San Fran, it surprises most people. If you ask them who should be favored, and they're saying Patrick Mahomes is the underdog, and it really is a sign that if you want to bet with the pros, it is going to be San Fran. I personally, and a number of people I respect, like Kansas City here. So this is a game that doesn't have a super clear majority on one side, though I would say more pros are on San Fran. But if you think about this line, and we always do this exercise on big games like this, what could the line be if you imagine if it goes up a little bit or if it goes down a little bit? Could you imagine San Fran laying 3? That seems crazy high. Could you imagine it be pick'em? Yeah, I kind of could.
Yes.
So that's kind of my point is I think that maybe at 2.5 you could make the case, or 2, that San Fran's the right side. But, man, if 3 is a horrible number, then how can 2 be that good of a bet? So to me, if you're leaning San Fran, I would think about passing it or at least go light. But, again, I'm probably in the minority amongst professionals.
So the pros will lean San Fran, and you're talking about the prop bets taking over. Do you have any you like? What do you like?
Yeah,
on
what do you
that
got on
front?
McCaffrey?
Yeah, McCaffrey. I feel like he stands out this week as one of those guys with a lot of volume of bets coming in on his props.
So I would say McCaffrey, the sharp money's on the under with the rushing yards and the over with the receiving yards. So that's where I would go that way. If you want to look at rushing, probably one of my favorite props of the entire game is Brock Purdy and in rushing. And there's a couple ways you can bet him, but here's a trick. Most people don't realize this. If there's kneel downs at the end of the game, that goes against your rush total. But it actually adds to your number of rushes. So imagine, you guys might remember Patrick Mahomes years ago gave up about 12 yards on the last 3 plays, and he went from 41 yards rushing to 29, and his total was 33.
Yeah.
So it was a nightmare. So,
bad beat. Bad beat on that one.
Bad beat. So you can bet over Purdy 3.5 rushes and get plus money. It's plus 120. And to me, there's about, if you think about it, there's about a 2/3 of a chance that the team that wins the game ends up getting the ball last, which means they kneel out. So, but now what's the 49ers' chance to win? Let's say half. It's a little better than half. So you really got a 33% chance of winning this bet almost just from the kneel outs. And then the fact that Purdy only needs to have, 4 rushes, I think that's an excellent bet. Number of rushes, Purdy over 3.5 plus money.
Talking with RJ Bell, pregame.com, to get yourself ready for the big game coming up on Sunday night. Are there any first half lines, second half lines, things like that we should be paying attention to?
For sure. So this is pretty amazing. If you look at San Fran, the way they've begun games with Shanahan in the playoffs. So the start of games. Now, historically, Super Bowls have been very slow to start. Remember, the Patriots with Brady never had a touchdown once in all you guys' Super Bowls in the first quarter. Never. And so that's an example of a smart team, though. You can lose it in the first quarter, but you can't win it, so you're conservative. Well, Shanahan's the same way. The last 7 games they played in the playoffs, 5 times they've had 0 points in the first quarter. 1 time they've had 3 points. And then once they had 10. So really 1 time out of 7 has San Fran really done much in the first quarter. So that makes me either like the under or I like Kansas City there. But then if you look at Kansas City in the second half, and this is all going to tie in, is in the last 15 games, they've given up 7 points per game the entire second half. So it's like, okay, if San Fran's not going to score in the first, at least too much, and KC's great in the second half defensively after the adjustments, then when they're going to score, right? So if you do like San Fran, I would say the third quarter is the place to look, and I honestly like them there. But otherwise, I like Kansas City, and I especially like them in the fourth quarter. And last thing about this one is think about the fourth quarter. If you're losing, you actually don't mind a team to be losing in the fourth quarter because they're going to throw from behind, and the other team's playing prevent. So you don't mind if you bet a fourth quarter bet the team being down. But if Kansas City's up, do you really want Purdy coming back? I know he kind of came back, well, not kind of, but came back in the first couple rounds of the playoffs, but it just feels like he's shaky, and in the Super Bowl it's a different game. So probably my very best bet of all the entire game is on Kansas City in the fourth quarter. You can get them at Pick'em plus money, and I like it.
I kind of like them, too. I feel that's the way the game's going to play out. Kansas City being down and Mahomes going to have to light them up in the fourth quarter. You don't touch any of the musical stuff, do you? Like over-under a national anthem or...
Occasionally, there's inside information that will come out on that, and if you get, and obviously, if you hear it, you play it. But they've gotten more and more, and once that info gets out, the books are taking it off the board. It used to be they kept it up and just kept moving it, but what you realize is that once people know, they know, and they have to do the rehearsal, so it does tend to get out.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that, there's a warm-up, right? There's always like a warm-up for the anthem that happens at the stadium, and there's some guy working there who's like, oh, let me throw a quick timer on this, right?
One of the security guys, right?
Yeah.
Or what song is going to be the first to play at halftime. But again, it's not just at the day of the game, but they're rehearsing before that, especially the bands, so it usually gets out.
Yeah, it does. That's what's happened over the years. You don't have any trends on that, do you? Like how many times the anthem's gone over, under?
Well,
Who's studying that?
I will say this. I'm always skeptical of people following steam with normal games because it's just an opinion. Yeah, maybe it's a 55, 56% opinion, but still, once the line starts moving, it's not worth it. But when it comes to information, so think about this. Who's going to go number 1 in the draft? What song is going to be played, that kind of thing. Yeah. If the line starts moving and drastically, that's actually a sign that someone knows for sure, and it's good in those situations to follow the steam. So in general, don't follow the steam, but when it comes to information that can be a lock, usually the steam is right.
RJ, I got one more question for you, Vegas related. I think this has been a great host city. It is obviously can handle a big crowd, and there's a massive crowd here for the Super Bowl, and it handles it with ease. But something I picked up on while spending the week here, I know it's not a busy time of year sports calendar-wise, but has the growth of apps and the ability to gamble on your phone killed the vibe at sportsbooks in Vegas? I walked by half a dozen books, and it just kind of feels dead. Like there's no one there anymore, that there's no sort of congregation at the spot. I'm sure it's happening on NFL Sundays, but other times of the week when there might be college basketball going on or NBA games to watch, I couldn't believe that there's just nobody at the sports books.
Yeah, I mean, you're very attuned to what's happening, and here's what makes it a bad business, at least with the brick and mortar, the physical. It's either so much demand that no one can fit in, like you said, on a Sunday during the NFL season. So it's like all the books are jam-packed, and some of the books actually open up auditoriums and have big screen TVs, but it's not the same as if you're in the book. But then the other days, especially in the day, but at night, even not as much, but very much so, is at night there still is an NBA, baseball, whatever. There might be 7-8 people. Really, what the book is for now is to go there, open your account, deposit money if you need to, and that's it. And actually, some of the books actually have deals with like PT pubs or different bars where you can actually go and load money up there. And now credit cards are going to start being used more. So in general, I think the physical brick and mortar stuff is going to be a smaller and smaller footprint in the casino. Because remember, every square foot can make a lot of money if you put a poker machine or something there.
It's too bad. It really is. I can feel that it's something that we've lost here in Las Vegas. So I was kind of saddened by that this week. No one's
I would say this is. I'm sorry, real quick. If you guys have been down to Circa yet, it's a book downtown that really has embraced the sports book side of things, and that's probably the best book in town now.
All right.
Good to know.
RJ, great stuff on the Super Bowl.
We appreciate it.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Have a good one, guys.
All right, RJ Bell, pregame.com is where you go for some insight as you get ready to place your wagers for the game Sunday night being played here in Vegas. Let's get headlines from Ryan Johnston. That's right now, and we will have coming up right after this, we're going to get into Zoverdrive, which this week is the Radio Row Montage of the week. And then Kendrick Bourne will join us. That's all on the way.
The Sports Hub. What happens in Vegas, you're going to hear about. It's Radio Row Week, and this is Zolak and Bertrand, presented by Safety Insurance on the Sports Hub.
Zolak and Bertrand in our final hour on Radio Row. This hour of coverage brought to you by Play Boston, and it's time now for Zoverdrive.
That's right, Beetle, and it's brought to you by the Albrecht Auto Group, where I take the wheel, drive the show. So what I'm doing from Radio Row is we're going to play a montage of our guests from Radio Row. And if you're the hunt for the Buick, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, GMC, Infiniti, Nissan, Toyota, or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, go to albrechtauto.com.
And I want to get this out of the way right now before we play it. Thank you to T-Bone and Tyler Milliken, who obviously put this together,
Fantastic
the recap
job
of the week. But they've done a fantastic job being back in Boston while we're out here.
It's not easy.
In Vegas, and we have an incredible crew here with, of course, Jim Louth and Mark Capello and Dennis Knudsen, and it's been a great week here in Vegas. And Che running the camera. How you doing, bud?
Yeah. Nice job.
And Josh Fowler back in Boston on the TV side on the simulcast. Thank you, Josh, for everything everybody has done to make this another successful week for us here on Radio Row. And I just would thank also, Zoe, our station management that still believes in this week, believes in the investment this week to make it here and to bring us here and to do this show. They believe in the content.
Got to have the presence.
And they support it. They support it.
It's the biggest game. It's the biggest game in the world, the Super Bowl. And you should be a part of it each and every year. Mary Mena and Brian Schneekloff.
And Rick Radzik.
Radzik and Mark Winchuk coming out with cells and supports the Patriots radio network throughout the course of the year. And we appreciate everybody.
So let's get to it. Here was the week.
Hello. How about that ride in? I guess that's why they call it Sin City.
Zolak and Bertrand live from Radio Row. It is Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas this week. Bert Breer, the MMQB, joins us.
Do you know Bert called me yesterday to see what time it was?
That is 100% accurate.
Michelle Beadle is with us.
Let me ask you this. Why is it that we want to start new jobs in our 70s? I don't.
You're 70?
No, I'm not, but I'm going to be. Thank you. Thank you. I look great.
Guys, how was Santana last night?
Had a few beverages. And I was like, I'm getting a T-shirt.
Look at this thing.
Look at how ridiculous this is. Sean Merriman.
When we lost, where the whole team was doing the lights out dance, I don't think I've never been so pissed off before in my life, right? I looked over and half the sidelines were doing it. I'm like, God, everybody was doing it but Tom.
To watch Louth get giddy over tongs.
He's talking about taking the
tongs
utensils home with them.
They're very nice.
Have fun getting that through security.
Welcome in Joe Mazzulla, Celtics head coach. And this video is fascinating. It's just you like climbing all over a guy. Like what? I can't stop watching. It's great. Rob Stats Guerrera is with us. How do the 49ers stop Travis Kelce?
The only way to beat Travis Kelce is with a stick while he sleeps.
We'll talk to Jake Plummer coming up next.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Patriots are hiring Ben McAdoo as an assistant.
The coaching staff of the New England Patriots going into 2024 will be worse than what it was in 2023. We posted the video earlier of our reaction to Ben McAdoo, and Donnie Wahlberg has responded on Instagram.
You watch the argument change. You sound like Tony Maserati. I'm just saying.
Jake in Boston is here.
What's up, boys?
Jake in Boston.
There he is.
Here at the Super Bowl.
This is great.
Taking a TikTok creator to the Super Bowl that's going mega viral right now.
Jim McMahon and Kyle Turley.
Turley said he brought the good stuff too, Beetle. So we're,
oh, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Looking for strippers and cocaine.
From the Drug Enforcement Administration, John Dalina. Again, to balance out this show, Mike Sando of The Athletic. Will Bill Belichick coach again?
I kind of think not.
Every time I see Rich Gannon walking around, I said, that guy looks like a pilot or a doctor.
Like a porn star or something.
Trey Wingo joins us. Trey, how are you?
We were
Dude,
there.
you are just enormous. I just want you to know that. Yeah, you're 100% beef.
Ross Tucker is with us.
There's only one guy I can see in the whole place, and he has this attractive lady rubbing the back of his
with her bare hands.
You know, you get free drinks if you're a gambler?
Yeah, sure.
I thought maybe you could get a free head massage. I was like, that's incredible.
From ESPN is Chris Fowler.
I could do the entire game in an Australian accent and really freak people out.
Lewis Riddick.
I was coached by the dude. I understand how he rolls. And it ain't for everybody.
Nope.
But if you want to win, ain't nobody better in the history of the game.
Michael Irvin with us. Got the roster. They've got the quarterback. They've got all those pieces.
And Belichick, what he does, we need.
It's Jim Miller, former NFL quarterback, former Patriot quarterback. Jim, it's been great talking to you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Good luck in that rebuild, guys.
Thanks a lot, Jim. If you're on our simulcast, this is from Noggin Boss.
Mushroom cap.
Patriots cornerback Jonathan Jones is here. Do you like the hat?
Not my style, man.
I have a tight end that I am not touching.
Wouldn't touch him. Well, I think differently about the tight end position. I like big guys. He's got really nice size.
You think so? Well,
I mean,
he's not as big as you.
Warren Sapp with us on the program.
Pension kicks in at 55. And that's when, I can still do sports radio, and I get my pension.
You like them cops that get fired and go to another place and do paperwork and still get your pension. I love
it. We've got that in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Legend. Oh, God bless. You okay?
Yeah, wow. You've got sort of three, operating there. I don't know why my voice is cooked today.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe day 5 in Vegas?
Vegas! Vegas, baby! Vegas!
That's a great job, guys.
Always. Sometimes it's as good as the week. Having just the recap.
Great job.
So, mushroom cap. I missed that.
I was talking about mushroom caps the whole time. You had that on your head, man.
I know. I was so distracted by having a big hat.
It was on there.
Big hat on my big head.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Coming up next, we're going to close out this week and close out this show with Kendrick Bourne. Stay tuned.
Now, more from Radio Row in Las Vegas. It's Zolak and Bertrand, presented by Safety Insurance on the Sports Hub.
We wrap up our week here on Zolak and Bertrand with Kendrick Bourne, who joins us here in Las Vegas. Kendrick!
Yes, sir.
Great to see you.
Great to see you guys.
Thanks for my gift.
Boy, iced out over there.
Hey, we're back in Vegas when I saw you out by the pool. We were talking before you got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
crazy, man.
How you feeling, first of all, with the knee?
I'm feeling all right, man. Getting there, man. I'm ahead of schedule. Just taking it day by day. I'm on a consistent schedule with my PT, so he's got me ahead of schedule, man. I feel like I can run right now.
Y'all want to see?
What's the timeline on that?
Yeah.
What is it?
So they say as in like when I could be back?
Yeah, when you can be back to what you were before.
Yeah, they say a full year. So my goal is to play week 1. That's my goal. So just doing the right things to be ready for week 1. And just seeing where I'm at, make sure the swelling's down and I can bend it back and hyperextend it fully. So those little details, man. So maybe about a full year. And I got hurt week 8, so I'm not coming back. I'm kind of coming back week 1.
Yeah, when you got hurt in that Miami sideline. I remember that, and sort of that was the part where it started everything to go downhill for the football team. How much do you still talk to the guys that are still back there? Do you like the fact that Gerard was kept over?
So yeah, I definitely keep up with the young guys, Taekwon, Pop, Kayshawn, and those guys, DP, and mostly my receiver room. We got a group chat that we still kick and keep going, and so just encouraging those guys to keep working hard. And obviously my knee was a tough situation. Even Judon and Gonzo, it was just one of those years, man. Everything was just piling on top of us. So just keeping up with those guys, telling them to keep going and just rehabbing, man, so I could get back. Hopefully I get back and, can help the team.
Back to New England.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to be back. That's
truly. Yeah. Oh, you asked about Gerard. He's the guy. He's the right fit.
Okay.
I'm glad they kept somebody in the building that understands Belichick and can kind of go in a new way. There's young players coming in, so I think he's going to gel the room together. Guys like McCourty and Slater leaving that. It was just crazy how Belichick left, too. It was like an era was just kind of – it was time. And I love Bill, but Mayo is the right fit.
Mayo's the right fit. When your first year, you had Josh as coordinator. Year 2, something went wrong. And was it Matty P took over, Joe Judge's quarterback coach. How problematic was it, not only for the team, but for you personally as a player?
It was rough. I think even the media world and the world was looking at it, too, like what's going on. And we had the same questions, too, like why. And for me personally, I kind of fell victim to the situation, too, asking why instead of focusing on myself, getting better. Struggled in 2022, man. So came back in 2023 going hard because circumstance, man, and I became a better player from the situation. But it was just a questionable decision, as we all know, and obviously didn't work
horrible.
out.
It's a horrible decision. I'll say it for you. I can say it was a terrible decision.
And so it's just now. So hopefully these next few years, the new OC I think is a good fit too. I don't know who he is, but I think it's different. I think it's different and bringing a West Coast type vibe, and so we'll see how that goes. But it was a crazy choice.
What do you like about being a Patriot and playing in New England?
I love the hard work. So I really felt good about Bill. Personally, for me, I loved how he pushed me and all those things. But the building itself, it wasn't just Bill. It was the environment itself was very competitive and earn your keep. You know what I'm saying? The best player is going to play, and I respect a team like that. It's not about money. It's not about anything. It's the best person that's going to give us opportunity to win is going to play. So that was something I respected most about the organization.
So do you feel as free agency gets closer, you're going to need to explore the market, you're going to need to go out there, get offers, because it's not as easy as just saying I want to be a Patriot and then you get the contract. It's not an easy process. It's a complicated process. It can get personal. Players sometimes get pissed off. And here's the situation now. You've got an injury you're coming off of. Teams are going to hold that against you. They're going to hold your age against you, right? You're about to turn 29.
Yeah.
So 29 coming off a knee injury.
Yeah. And that's
make your case.
That's a great question. So for me, it's just about doing everything personally, from taking care of my body, obviously taking care of my knee first and foremost, but being in the best shape. I feel like in 2023 I was in the best shape of my life. I could play 10 plays in a row and feel really good. So just being that person, giving myself the best opportunity, showing teams, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on my YouTube, that I'm grinding, I'm working, and there's a lot left in me. So, like you said, I don't know what's going to happen. It's so crazy. Like, I wish I could just be like, yeah, I know where I'm going. I'm coming back, and I know for sure. But it just doesn't work like that, the business, how it goes. So I just figure out what I can control, and that's like being in the best shape, and I think that'll give me the best opportunity.
And potentially we could have a new quarterback here with the number 3 pick. There's guys at the top of the board. You as a veteran player, and as he mentioned your age, would you rather have a veteran guy come in through free agency if you come back as a Patriot, or do you want to work with a rookie?
That is a great point. So I'm so in between, because you see guys like Brock Purdy now. You never know. It can be the last pick in the draft, and he can be the guy. And a lot of the time, the first round guys be questionable. So, and even you go get a vet, you don't know what's going to happen. So it's just a toss-up, man. So I like Jaden Daniels. I said it before. I like a Russell Wilson or something, a vet like that. I love Mac Jones too, though. So y'all know I'm a Mac Jones fan, man. Like I love the guy. So I think it's just getting the right fit. And I think Mayo and Elliott and those guys are going to do a good job of knowing what the right piece is. So we'll see, man.
Does it feel like Elliott's the guy?
I love Elliott.
Okay.
I love him. He every day, I just always said what's up to him. He had good energy walking around the building, and I think he's going to evaluate very well.
Carries himself well.
Facts.
He's been around.
Facts.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man.
I like Vegas as a city.
I'm enjoying
not city for Super Bowl city.
Yeah,
it's played in the game. You know it.
Well, I was in Miami. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And Vegas I went to the honors yesterday, man. It was my first time being there. Shout out to Joe Cardona and John Jones. Those guys were up there, man. It was fun, but just the environment and everything out here. The weather sucks, but
you don't need to leave the hotel
at all.
No.
And so it's been fun, man. I've been enjoying it.
All right.
You don't have to go outdoors here at all.
Where you train at? Good
question.
What state?
So I've been in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Born and raised. And that's where I stay around, man. Buying real estate out there, training, family's there. So
weather kind of sucks there, too.
It does. So I'm used to the rain and wet. You're right.
Do you still have that round bed that you bought? You bought some oversized bed.
I remember we talked to you about that when you first got here.
Yeah, it's huge.
$12,000 bed or something.
It's huge. So my wife, she hates it because
you don't kids in it, right?
I can have all my kids in it. So one side, it's so far apart. She sleeps next to me, so she has to climb down. She can step down, and she has to climb all the way down. It's very comfortable though.
But you've got that same problem because it happens all the time. I'll walk into my bedroom and I get kids. All my kids are all in my bed. I'm like,
kids on
get out! There's so much room. There's plenty of room in this house, and you don't need to be in my bed.
I just had a newborn too, bro. So going through it.
You get to go back home. Get no sleep. Now.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
You're gonna stay in Vegas as long as you
can, bro. Wifey's trying to get me home right now.
You'll get more sleep here.
I'm telling you, I have been. She knows, too.
Well, Kendrick, best of luck this offseason. Best of luck
brother.
in all the training and the rehab. I know that's going to be a lot. How many times a week are you doing that?
So I'm actually going 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Almost 6. So sometimes I go on Saturdays, but if I'm feeling sore or anything like that, just trying to rest it. But I'm really in great progress, man. I'm actually shocked. I've never been through it before. And just learning how it works, and I'm actually shocked how strong I am and being able to flex my quads. So getting these quads strong and protecting my knee, so I'm getting there.
Get out there, do a couple sprints with the cameras on before you go.
Elliott's watching. Let's go. Hey, thanks for the ice, man. I appreciate it.
Sir.
I appreciate you.
Kendrick Bourne, thank you for being here.
Thank you, brother.
So these would have been fake promos, and they would have been sponsored by
John Sewer, johnsewer.com. Don't get faked out by the imitators. Go with the pros, johnsewer.com.
Awesome. Thanks to everybody for watching and listening this week.
Great week. Thank you.
Felger and Maz are coming up next from Radio Row for their final show over the next 4 hours. You don't want to miss that. We'll be back on Monday,
Airport,
10 a.m. after the Super Bowl, reacting to whatever happens on Sunday night. We'll be back in our Town Fair Tire studios then. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game. See ya.